All right, how about now? You guys let me know if you can hear me better now. Now that's why you always do a sound check before you get too far into anything. All right, how about now? You guys let me know if you can hear me better now. All right, can you see me, hear me? Great, okay. That's what happens when you double mute yourself with a microphone and in the YouTube Hangout. All right, so let me go over a couple slides here again. First of all, you are invited to share this training. If you do, I will send you in your Facebook or Twitter inbox later today a link to a secret PDF that I've never actually released before. This is your only way to get it. If you share the link to this as we get started here, I will send you that. You can invite your friends to join us. I promise this will be worth your time today, and your friends will thank you for inviting them. So, quick way to get a free bonus surprise for showing up today. So let me go ahead and just jump in here. For those of you who don't know me, and I see you guys in chat sharing when we met, how long we've been working together, how long you've been reading my blog, which is awesome, although it's a little scary how long I've been doing this, and I'm being reminded of that right now. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I love when I'm able to see how long I've been in touch with people online and how much we've been able to help each other over the years. But let me jump in here and get started with what you're here for, which is to find out what the ultimate hook line is. So hi, for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Michelle Schaefer. And here is what you will discover today. Thanks for tweeting. I see you guys commenting in chat. As soon as I'm off the webcast, I'll be going through looking for those tweets, looking for the Facebook shares, and sending you your gifts. The ultimate hook line. Now, if you've downloaded the report, or if you've played with the hook line dynamic tool, you've got some idea of what a hook line is. What I'm going to share with you today is how one line, just 6 words, can really transform your online business from frustrating struggle to life-changing, money-making joy. Does that sound good? Say yes in the comments and let me know. I'm going to assume that you're about to say yes and keep going here. And there's a little bit of a delay between me speaking and you seeing it on your screen. Go ahead and let me know if that sounds good. Then I've got another question for you. Have you ever felt invisible? Have you ever felt like you've got something amazing to share with people that you know is of service and have helped them if you could just figure out how to make yourself visible? That's what I want to help solve for you today. So if you guys know much of my story, you know that I got started in business. As Shell mentioned in chat, he hired me when I was 19. That was not this decade. That was a while ago. And I started out as a virtual assistant, and then I moved into blogging. And you guys have probably heard me tell the story of how I kind of accidentally fell into blogging, and then it was working. I was getting traffic. I was getting people who wanted to work with me, but I couldn't quite figure out what I was doing. Couldn't figure out what was working. Now that's a really weird situation to be in, right? Have you ever had that happen where something happened and you went, oh, that worked. What did I do? So I can figure this out. Let me do it again. Let me show other people how to do it. That's kind of the feeling I had was, okay, something I just did worked. What was it? And as I started to look at what I was doing and how I was changing things, what worked, what didn't with my headlines or my hook lines on my blog posts and what I was doing, and then I really started watching others who were succeeding with it because I realized if I can accidentally make a blog work, maybe I should really get intentional about it and see what's working. I started studying what it was that successful business owners were doing to get attention. How were they really grabbing people's interest, their curiosity, and getting them not just to click on their headlines. If you've ever had that experience where you publish a new blog post, you're excited about it, you share it, and nobody clicks through and reads it, and you feel like it's just you and your cat, maybe your mom. That's not a good feeling, right? You look around, you see other people are getting attention, they're getting clicks, and you know what you have to share is as important. You know your message matters, and you want to get it out there, but you haven't quite figured out what it is. That's what I'm going to share with you in the ultimate hook line, is what I figured out as I started to really watch successful bloggers. Because if you figure out who's succeeding with what you want to do, and you study it and study it and study it, you can break it down and figure out exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years, especially, is really studying how are people getting attention, and getting attention in a way that engages with people so they read their content, so they click and they want to opt in, they want to work with you, they want to buy what you're offering. So what's this webcast about? It boils down to the fact that people do want to hear your message. And I'm going to give you the one line that will inspire them to do that. Because this isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricking people. I'm not going to give you like clickbait recipes where people click your title and then go, oh, this isn't even what this article is about, because that doesn't work. You and I both know long-term what really works is caring about what you're doing, about being passionate about it, about really believing in the products and services that you offer and how they can change people's lives and make a difference in the world. So what I'm about to share has really hit a nerve, and that's been very interesting for me to watch, because if you've read the report, you know, I almost didn't share it because I thought this feels really simple to me. Once I figured out what was working, it was kind of like, I don't know if I should share this, what people will think of it. And then I also didn't know how to really teach it. And in a very new experience for me, I actually went out and got venture capital to be able to build what I wanted to build, to make this easy for you guys to use and for other people to apply what I was learning. And the feedback I'm getting has been amazing. It's really surprised me how much people are connecting with this. And I think it's because so many of us have felt invisible. We have felt like we know we have something valuable to offer. We just aren't sure how to get other people to see that and understand the value. And speaking of nerves, what I'm going to share with you is really how to hit nerves in other people. What are the things that really do get their attention? But first, again, I respect your time. I want to make sure you're in the right place. This webcast is for you. If you have a mission, a message, a purpose, you feel a burning desire to grow your business, you want to help more people, and you're excited to take action and reach your goals. It's not for you if you're already happy with where you're at and the money you're making. That's awesome if you are. This is if you want to get out there in a bigger way. If you're already getting all the attention and action that you want, that you need, then again, probably not the best use of your time. If you're not getting that yet, this is where you want to be. And if you're okay continuing to struggle and grow slowly, that's okay. Some people prefer to grow their business that way. What I'm going to show you today is the exact opposite of that. It's how to immediately make a few small changes that will create an unbelievable shift in the way people see what you're doing and the way they hear your message. So I want to encourage you to turn off whatever distractions you've got. Log out of Facebook, log out of Twitter, turn off your email for just a few minutes here so that I can show you how to use the ultimate hook line to really get the results you're after in your business. Hey, Judy. Hey, Bo. I see you guys in the comments. So let's go ahead and really dive in. Who understands, without me even saying anything, what this picture represents? I would be raising my hand right now. I'm betting most of you probably are as well. If you've ever put something out there into the world and felt like all that was there was crickets, let's solve that, because that's not a good feeling. Sometimes you wonder, why is it so hard? Has anybody else ever asked themselves that? Maybe you're up at 3 a.m. You know, it's been interesting, you guys, if you've used the hook line dynamic tool, you know, it asks you what kind of hook line you're creating. Is it an email subject line? Is it a blog post? Is it a sales funnel? Is it a Facebook ad headline? And it gives you a chance to opt in, get on a webcast like this, get my free report. And you would not believe how many people in the audience that I work with are up at 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. working, specifically, a lot of them on sales funnels. Why is it hard sometimes? I think sometimes we've been led to believe that business has to be that way. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's easy. There is no shortcut. There is no button you can push that makes you suddenly a millionaire. This is the wrong webcast if that is your goal. But it doesn't have to be as hard as it feels. You see other people making it work. If you figure out what they're doing and how, you can skip past some of that struggle and frustration. And that's what I want to help you with the 6 principles in this simple one line. Now, here's an acronym to remember. It's VABROM. Now, I know that's not an actual word. Couldn't come up with a better word without getting a little too cheesy. So we're going with this one, VABROM. I'm going to tell you what these letters stand for in a minute. Regina, I see your comment. You love the tool, that it's helped you. That's great to hear. I know it's helped me to think about headlines in a different way, and having the discussions with the developers and programmers of how do we build this, how do we put all of this into a tool has just been incredibly mind-opening. Linda, you mentioned it doesn't keep you up at night, but you've definitely thought there must be an easier way. You are not the only person who has had that thought. Bo, we're not sleeping at all for a few days in a row. Yes, I have been there as well. You know, that just goes to show to me how passionate you are, all are about your businesses and how much you care about making them work. So here's the one line, the ultimate hook line, that if you remember this is how you get that attention. This is how you get people to be inspired to listen to your message and to follow you, to listen, to learn from you, and more importantly, to take action on what you're sharing with them. That action may be clicking through and reading a blog post. It may be opting into your list, getting a freebie from you. It may be buying a product, subscribing to your course, joining your team. There's lots of different actions. I would love to know in chat, what are the actions that you're looking for people to take? What is it that you really want to see them do? Because for most of it, it's more than just click a link and opt into my list. Why do you want them to opt in? What is it that you really want to create in the world? So here's the one line. Anyone will follow you if you help them manifest their vision, relieve their anxieties, remove their blame, escape their reality, validate their opinions, or defeat their monsters. And we're going to talk about each of these in a minute. I want you to think specifically about your audience. What are these things for them? Vision, anxieties, blame, reality, opinions, and monsters. And I told you in the email that I would let you know what X factor you could focus on that would make things far easier for you. And here it is. You don't have to worry about yourself. All you have to think about is your audience. What is their vision? What are their anxieties? What are they feeling blame for? What do they need to escape from? What opinions do they need validation for? And what are the monsters that they're fighting? Because everybody is fighting monsters. If you can show them how to defeat those monsters, and you put that, and I'll show you how to do this in a minute, into your hook lines, into your messaging, your content that's going out there, that's what grabs their attention, is these 6 things. Let's go through them. Vision, if you can help your audience to manifest their vision. So stop for a moment and think, what really is their vision? What is it that they want more than anything? The product or service you offer, how does it help them to manifest their ultimate vision? And to figure this out, here's an exercise that I encourage you to do. Think about what you deliver, what result you get your client, and then just keep asking yourself, why do they want that? What do they get from that? And just keep asking that question every time you come up with the answer. Run through that in your head, okay? You help them build a better business. Why do they want that? What does it get them? Why do they want that? If you keep asking that, you will eventually get to what is their vision really? You know, if you sell something about, how to organize your home, how to keep things clean. Really, you know what? A clean, organized home is awesome, but why do I want that? Because I want to feel at peace. I want to feel happy. I want my family to feel at peace and happy. So keep asking yourself, whatever your result is, why does your client want that? And you'll get to their vision. That's what you need to help them manifest, help them create that in reality. What are their anxieties? What are the biggest fears that your clients have, that your audience is struggling with? I know one from my audience, a lot of times, I know this is one for me as well, is what if no one's listening? What if I feel invisible? What if I don't know how to express myself in a way that connects with my audience? They don't see the value in what I offer. So think about what the anxieties are for your particular audience. And then blame is another one. What are they feeling blame for? What are they feeling like they've done wrong? And how can you help them realize it's not actually their fault? And one conversation that I have a lot with clients when they're stuck in their business, it's not growing as fast as they want, or something isn't working. my question is usually, okay, you know what? First of all, you're not alone. That's totally normal to be stuck on this. Has anyone actually showed you how this works? Do you actually understand this part of things? Because if no one's explained something to you and you don't know how it works, it's not your fault that it's not working yet for you. All you need is somebody to walk you through it, to show you how it works, to help you apply it to your own business. So think about what your audience is feeling like it's their fault, when really it's not their fault. You need to help them see that. A lot of the problems that we have, we feel guilty for. And really it's something that either we're not aware of what we're doing that created it, because we are responsible for our own actions, right? But if we're not aware of how we created the problem, we need someone else to help us get past the blame so that we can focus on fixing it. If all we feel is guilt, if all your audience feels is guilt, then they don't know how to step out of that enough to be able to change it. The next one is reality. How can you help your audience escape reality? And I'll give you some examples of these in a minute. Everybody is stuck in reality that in some ways they've got stressful things happening. They've got frustrating things happening. They've got things they wish they could snap their fingers and change. And if you can help them escape that reality, they're going to follow you. Think about what we do with Netflix. We sit and binge watch entire seasons of series because we're escaping reality. Why are YouTube viral videos so popular? Because they're helping us to escape reality. So think about that for your audience. Next one is opinions. Who likes to be told they're right? Raise your hand. Everybody listening right now is raising their hand, aren't you? Do you like to be told you're right? Do you like to have your opinion validated? You've got to do that for your audience. Now, sometimes the way you do that may be to validate it and then say, and also, here's something you're not thinking of yet. They don't have to be exactly right for you to validate their struggles, their frustrations, the opinions that they've got. But you have to think about that and how you can validate them. That grabs people's attention when you tell somebody you're right. Think about how good it feels sometimes. And if you're a mom of teenagers, you'd probably say this in your head. Sometimes you don't say it out loud. I told you so. Because you know you had the conversation and your child did their own thing anyway. And you know at some point they're going to realize they probably should have taken that advice, right? When your opinion is validated, you want more of that. You want to continue following the person who just made you feel great. Hey, I was right. This person agrees with me. Those are the emotions that you want to generate in your audience. How about monsters? We all got monsters under our beds, in our closet that we're afraid of. We want to defeat them. We want to vanquish the monsters. And if you can connect with what your audience's monsters are and show them there's a way to beat those monsters, now you've really got their attention because you're showing them what's possible and showing them that you can guide them through that process. So there's hope to get past whatever that monster is. So let's look at this in action. All right. Here's a great headline. I'm going to give you some examples and I want you to answer this for yourself. You can put your guess in chat if you'd like. We can have some fun with this. Here's a headline that definitely grabs attention and gets a lot of clicks. I am quite sure. You can see it's got 493 comments on it. You guys, if you've got a blog, you know it takes a lot of views to get a comment. So you can imagine how many views this post had. How to quit your job, move to paradise, and get paid to change the world. Now, who doesn't want that? What do you think that headline plays to? Is it vision, anxieties, blame, reality, opinions, monsters? ProBlogger is really good at combining these in one headline, which makes it even more powerful. How to quit your job, that's a monster that people want to defeat. Entrepreneurs, people who want a home business, they're looking to defeat that monster of having to go to a job every day, having a boss tell them what to do. I mean, stuck somewhere that they don't feel like they're using their gifts and their talents in the world, right? But it also goes to vision. Move to paradise and get paid to change the world. So it's playing to two different things here. There's a monster being defeated, but more than that, there's a vision. This is an inspirational headline. You can change the world. This is telling you it's possible. Here's how to do it. All right. This also goes to escaping reality. Move to paradise. Now, if you're having a really bad day and you see this headline, how to quit your job, move to paradise and get paid to change the world. Yeah, that's going to help me escape reality for a second. Think about defeating that monster and think about my vision, which is I want to get paid to do what I'm here to do and make the world a better place while I do it. All right, so that's one example of this in action. You can see how this works. Here's another one from Mommyish. 10 reasons men shouldn't be helping their wives with the housework. What do you think this one goes to? Vision, anxieties, blame, reality, opinions, or monsters? This one goes to validating people's opinions. This is a controversial one, right? You can imagine how many people had to click this headline because we're going, wait, what? You're telling me that men shouldn't help their wives with housework? And this post is actually part satire. It's pretty funny, but it's a great example of a hook line that gets people's attention because for men, that's kind of validating for some of them, not all of them, not a blanket judgment here, for some men, validating an opinion. And for some women as well. But it's also controversial, right? Most people are going to go, wait a minute, that's the opposite of my opinion. Now, if you read the whole post, she actually probably validates your opinion in the end of it. But that's another really catching hook line. Let's go to one more. 20-something, why I regret getting straight A's in college. What does this one go to? Why I regret getting straight A's in college. A couple of different things that this one plays into, but mostly it's an opinion being validated. A lot of people have the opinion that maybe the college wasn't the best use of time, which, it depends on what you majored in and what you end up doing in life and the life lessons that you earned during that time of your life. But for someone who maybe does regret college, this is going to catch their attention, or maybe they regret spending so much time focused on certain things. Or maybe they don't at all, but that's an opinion that's going to grab attention. And for those who agree and feel validated, they're going to want to read more from this author. They're going to want to find out more about the person behind that. So let's look at another one. This one I think everybody can guess pretty easily. This one is from Neil Patel's blog, Why Successful People Are Douchebags. That is an opinion validating post because a lot of people have the opinion that to be successful, you've got to be certain things. You've got to behave certain ways, which absolutely isn't true. But a lot of people hold that opinion because we look at certain people, we see they're successful and we go, I don't think I want that kind of success. Does anybody else have had that thought? I know that's one for me. There's certain things that I'm not interested in doing to be successful. Certain things matter a lot to me, but this again grabs attention because it's validating an opinion, right? All right, so does this really work? Well, you can see in those examples, those definitely catch attention, right? Those posts got a lot of traffic. Let's look at some more examples here. And the winner is, of these three headlines, which one do you think got the most click-throughs? These were split tested by SEO Hacker. How I use this blog to replace my day job, how I grew this blog from $100 a month to a full-time income, or how to make money with a blog. Which of those do you think won and why? It was A, how I use this blog to replace my day job. Why did that one connect with people? Because for most people, their day job, people who would be in this audience here, is a monster for them. They want to replace their income so that they can work from home, right? You might think having a specific number in there, I know the number caught my attention and saying full-time income, but really that goes back to the why do they want it? Why do you want to grow your blog from $100 a month to a full-time income? It's so you can escape your day job, or it's so you can bring your spouse home to be with you during the day, or whatever that bigger goal is. It's really about vision and monsters more than it is about full-time income. It's what that allows you to do. So how I use this blog to replace my day job actually won. Let's do another one. And the winner was 3 ways to use the World Cup for your brand, how to use Dr. Dre and Neymar, I'm not up with pop culture, don't know how to pronounce that one, to promote your products. Or C, 3 ways for your brand to survive the World Cup hiatus. Which one of these do you think grabbed people's attention the most? Which one would you click? The winner was how to use Dr. Dre to promote your products. Why? because that's an escaping reality blended with goals and vision. You want to promote your products, you want to get them out there, but here's a fun distraction type way to do that with a celebrity in the headline. Isn't that interesting how that works? That one actually won the split test. All right, so let's get to what I think is probably the reason a lot of you opened my email last night. I put something a little controversial in there, didn't I? I said I would tell you how Donald Trump actually ended up president. So let's talk about that for a minute, because here's the thing. If you understand how powerful this one line is, these 6 things, powerful enough to put someone in the presidency, you can understand how to use it in your own business to reach the goals that you're after and to make a positive difference in the world. All right. So yeah, what the heck? Anybody else thinking that on election night? I think most of us were pretty shocked. The people I know who supported Trump were very shocked. I also had friends who were in tears and very worried and upset. So both sides and people who were third party, everybody was kind of going, wait, what the heck just happened? Right? Did you feel that way on election night? What the heck just happened? Now, I'm not going to get all decisive and political here on you. What I want to do is just show you how these principles were used so that you can understand how to apply them better in your own business. So let's look at some of the statements that Trump made during the election process and how they play into these 6 things. You guys probably remember, who here remembers at least one thing Trump said? Do you remember at least one statement Trump made that got in the media? I bet you remember more than one. Why? Because he figured out how to use these hook lines. He figured out what to say that would grab people's attention, that would grab the media's attention, that would get people to talk about him. And he also, when he didn't get the attention he wanted, he'd post things on Twitter. He again used hook lines, catchy things using these 6 principles to get people's attention. So let's break these down for you. I'm officially running for president. We're going to make our country great again. What does that go to? It goes to vision. Now remember, this is super, super, super important. Some of these won't connect with some of you. Some of them didn't connect with me. Why? Because it's about connecting with your specific audience on a specific topic. Trump thought about who his audience was and worked to connect with them. Right? So think about who your audience is, what their vision is. All right, let's look at another one. There are 96 million people wanting a job. I've got a plan to help them get one. That statement was all over the news when he made it. That goes to anxieties. I bet all of us know someone who's looking for a job right now and hasn't found one, who's been out of work for a while. That's an anxiety that a lot of people are dealing with, and he spoke to that. He spoke to that. All right, here's another one. You live in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. It's not your fault. It's the broken system's fault. And I think probably most of us actually agree with that statement. There are things in the system that are broken. We disagree on how to fix them, but the statement itself plays to blame. People are feeling bad that they're in the situations they're in, and by saying it's not your fault, it's the system's fault, he's removing blame. When we remove blame, people are inspired. They think, okay, this person gets my situation. They understand me. That's what you want in your hook lines, for people to feel understood. Okay. Next, this was a joke he made during a debate. I don't think General MacArthur would like Hillary publishing her plan to defeat ISIS online. What does that play into? Reality. Escaping reality. When you can put some humor in what you're doing, when you can put some star power, some guru names, some Dr. Dre or whoever the celebrity is, and help people think outside of reality and escape that for a few minutes with humor, they feel good. You're connecting with them in a different way. Because if you guys have played with the Hook Line Dynamic app, you know the goal of those hook lines is to understand how words make people feel. How does humor make you feel? You feel happy for a minute. You feel lighter. You feel better. When you have that kind of emotional response to someone, you want to be around them. You want to learn more from them, right? All right. Here's another quote. I think everybody was familiar with this one. Mexico is sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing those problems with them. Now, again, remember, Trump was trying to connect with his audience. For his audience, what did this do? It validated their opinion. Whether you agree with the issues Trump sees with our immigration policies or not, you can see, right, how this connected with validating the opinions of his core audience. That's what you've got to do. You've got to think, what is my audience thinking? Not the whole world, not the whole country, not your whole city, just your specific audience, the people who are a good fit to work with you. What are their opinions? How can you validate them? Here's another quote from him. You can rest assured that as commander-in-chief, I would use whatever enhanced interrogation methods we can to keep this country safe. Again, whether you agree with that position or not, that one's about defeating monsters. We have a lot of people in fear for lots of reasons right now, right? Most of us have fears about what's happening in the country. And he addressed that and addressed how to defeat, in his mind, those monsters. Again, speaking to his audience, that worked. When you look at, and I see the comment in chat that he outmarketed the other side. Absolutely, I agree. He managed to outmarket the other side. When I was preparing the slides, I stopped to think, what did the other side say that I remember? What catchy things were there that stuck in my brain? And it was hard to come up with some. And it's not because there aren't good ideas on both sides. It's not because there aren't valid opinions on both sides. It's because in this context, Trump mastered how to use hook lines to get people's attention and these 6 principles. That's why it's so key that you understand them. Whether you're politically active, they can obviously be applied quite well in the political arena, but they can be applied in your business to have the same effect. Trump got his supporters excited enough to go vote, to take action, and it worked for him. Now, if it works in politics, think about how you can apply this, how you can make it work in your business to get your audience to take action. All right, and here's another thing to keep in mind, and I love the comments in chat, guys. This is a great conversation. It's not about making everybody happy. We've had candidates who've done that before, right? And generally, they're extremely boring and they don't end up winning. You've got to be a little bit polarizing sometimes to speak to your ideal audience and their specific fears, their specific anxieties, their opinions. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to say what your audience needs to hear. You're not going to make everyone love you, but that's okay because it's your audience that you're concerned about helping and that you want to reach, right? So this will work for you too if you apply it. You guys can see on the screen here, this is a shot of the Hookline Dynamic tool, and I encourage you to go play with it. Go put in some words and see, and I'll show you some examples in a minute of how to use this, but quick overview for anyone who hasn't used it. This tool really is unlike anything else that's out there. I know because I've been looking for it. As I shared at the beginning, when I started to see that blogging could work a little bit, and I wanted to make it really work a lot, I started looking at successful bloggers and successful entrepreneurs and their hook lines. What were they saying? How were they saying it? And I've had some really interesting conversations with my programmer and some others about the fact that some of these filters, some of us naturally have them. I've gotten in more than one intense conversation with people that I've done copywriting with about the fact that I filter very strongly for emotionally positive words and for empowering words, because it's how I want my audience to feel when they read something that I've written. And so I encourage you to take a look at the tool and put in some different words and see how they rank for excitement, for emotion, for empowerment, so that you can see not just how you feel about a word, but how your audience is going to feel about a word. Because it matters. You know, it's what's the quote we've all heard? It's not what you say, it's what people hear. I know I'm not the only one who's had that experience where you're trying really hard to communicate a certain point, a certain message, and the person on the other side of the conversation, on the other side of what you've written, walks away with a totally different feeling and impression than you meant to make. Has anybody else ever had that happen? You really meant it one way, but it came out another way? Because it's not about the words you say, it's about the words people hear, it's about how they make them feel. And that's what this tool does, is it measures the excitement level of words, the emotion, positive or negative of words, and the empowerment of words, so that you can see, how is this hook line going to make my reader feel? When you tap into that and then you add the 6 principles that I shared with you, you can create extremely powerful hook lines that really do grab people's attention in a different way. They feel understood. They feel validated. They feel like you can help them. That's how you want to position yourself. That's how you want to share what it is you offer. As you can imagine, this tool was, it was a lot of fun to build, but it was also, it was a really, really big project. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the first time in my business, and I've been generally in business for about 16 years or so now. This is the first time, though, that I went out and went after venture capital to be able to build this, because when I started to see exactly how people were succeeding with their words, and I share more about this in the report. If you haven't read that yet, go download it. Make sure that you read through that. It'll really help you to look at things differently. I realized that there were almost these natural filters that certain people had, that somehow they knew the right words to use. And that's something that not all of us have, right? It's something that took me a while to figure out, because I knew, okay, I had this conversation and I felt totally disempowered. I didn't feel inspired at all. I didn't want to work with that person. But I had another conversation where I felt like I could do it. I felt like this person gets me. And it came down to the words they were using. But trying to break that down and put it into a formula, not an easy thing to do, right? But this tool takes research from thousands and thousands of people and how they feel about words, and it puts it into, and I think I've showed you guys before, the spreadsheet. I had a spreadsheet that had all the data in it, and it was really time consuming. I had the numbers and I understood how they worked, but I wanted to build something that would give you a way to really see, just with a couple clicks, how do people feel about this word? What can I swap it out for? That's another thing. The best copywriters I know, they seem to have like this cloud of words floating in their head, and they can instantly think of like 15 synonyms and know which one's the best one to use. I don't have that. I have Google, but when you Google a word and you're looking for a synonym for it, it's not as simple. You're trying to figure out, how is this word? What do people think of this word? This gives you a way to swap in synonyms to see really, how is your audience going to react to a specific word. So I love that comment, Regina. The app takes years of learning out of the equation. This really is what I've been studying since I started my business. I mean, I remember looking at hook lines and thinking, okay, that one grabbed my attention. What was it about that grabbed me? Why did I feel compelled to read this? Have you ever seen a headline and you can't resist? You have to click it. You've got to go see what it's about. The awesome thing about this is when you can write a hook line like that really grabs somebody and they've got to read it, and then you deliver on whatever that promise was that you made in your hook line. It might be an email subject line. It might be a blog post headline. It might be your Facebook ad headline. It might be your sales page headline. When you deliver on the promise from that hook line in what you write, in your messaging, there's a trust that's established there. And you guys all know, what do you have to do to be able to get someone to work with you, to buy from you? They have to know you. You've got to know you. If they found you through one of your hook lines, they're on your site, they're reading your email, they've got to like you, and they've got to trust you. By creating a hook line that addresses something they want, those 6 things, and then delivering on that in your content, in your messaging, you're showing them they can trust you, that you understand them, you can help them defeat their monsters, that you validate their opinions, that you can help them deal with their anxieties and resolve them, that you understand their vision. That creates a completely different positioning for you in your business when you can do that. This tool helps you do that. So that's the goal of it, is to give you an easier way to do this. And like I said, this has been, the feedback I've been getting has been amazing, because people are seeing how just little changes in words make a huge difference. And there isn't anything else out there that's done this before. So it's exciting for me. You guys can see some of the feedback I got. I love what Steve wrote here. I want to open up my own emails even more now. That's the feeling you want to have. That's the feeling you want your audience to have, right? You want them to go, oh, I got to open this one. I gotta read this one. All right. So what's the fastest way to really apply the principles that I went over today? VABROM, which again, that stands for, let's see if I can remember all 6 of them. Vision, anxieties, vision, anxieties, reality, escaping reality. And I've forgotten, it figures. Ever have that happen when you're live? Of course, your brain doesn't want to work. And defeating your monsters. It was opinions. Opinions and defeating your monsters. The fastest way to apply these principles, I'm going to do a quick demo here, is the Get Ideas button. How many of you have played with the Get Ideas button yet? And yes, I am sharing this with you. This is a free tool. I just got a message on Facebook asking me that popped up. Yeah, this is free. It's at hooklinedynamic.com. hooklinedynamic.com. You can go use it free. The Get Ideas is what I want to show you right now. Whoops, let me go out of screen, full screen here. Give me 1 second and get to Hookline Dynamic, and I'm going to show you how the Get Ideas works. Just let me know if you can see my screen okay here. Always a little nervous when I switch from slides to full screen sharing. Let me know if you can see my screen okay. This is the Hookline Dynamic app. And if you click Get Ideas, I know a lot of people have missed this button because it's kind of hiding over there. It's one of those best kept secret things. What this does is it will help you to come up with ideas for hook lines that specifically hit these 6 nerves, that specifically address the things that I just mentioned that you saw in those headlines. They worked. You saw them in the examples from Trump's campaign. These work. So let's see. What this does is it asks you some questions and just walks you through how to create your hook lines. So let me start here. You start with your audience. Let's say my specific audience is cats. And my audience of cats is most likely to have their attention hooked by a carrot or a stick. You guys are probably familiar with that, right? A carrot means something good they get. A stick means something bad that happens, a result they want to avoid. So you can either be positive or negative here. Both can motivate people, right? We talked about monsters, anxieties, blame. Those are negative. We also talked about vision, escaping reality. Those are some more positive approaches. I'm going to go with carrot and click here. So this hook line is for cats, and it's about, let's see, controlling your human. If you're a cat, you want to control your humans. Let's click next step. When it comes to controlling your humans, one thing people, or in this case cats, should definitely do is, let's say, purr. That gets human attention, right? If they actually do purr, they will get more cat treats, right? So you would use this for, what your audience actually gets. I'm gonna just go through and show you how this works. 8, controlling your human secrets, only real cats know. That one's interesting. It makes me curious. Okay, wait, maybe I'm not a real cat. I need to go find out, how do I be a real cat and control my humans? We analyzed 4,382 stats related to controlling your humans. This is what we learned. You can see how catchy these are. They grab your attention. You keep clicking this button, you'll keep getting ideas. Tricks to help you become an expert at controlling your humans. These are definitely things I would be interested in if I were a cat. You can click this here to add it to your saved list. So I'll put them in the box here, so then you can go get a score for it. Let's see. 5 genius hacks that'll turn you into a controlling your humans master. I hope my cat does not read any of these blog posts. So as you keep clicking, it'll continue to ask you some more questions. Cats might try to ignore this hook line by telling themselves, this probably doesn't apply to me because, okay, this goes to fears and anxieties. I'm not cute enough. Maybe a cat might think, I'm not cute enough for purring to work. You can see some examples here. All right, next level. What profession or organization will resonate most with cats? Let's see. ASPCA. That's an authority for cats. Prevention of cruelty to animals. Okay, here's some more headlines. How to get more cat treats even if you're not cute enough. I like that one. 20 ways to get more cat treats even if you're not cute enough. Images from this cat prove the idea you can't make it if you're not cute enough is adult word. These are headlines that would grab attention, right? You can see this, how this works. You can continue going through there and it'll continue giving more. Okay, so here's 14 ASPCA tips about controlling your humans from an authority. And then it'll ask you, as you keep going, it'll continue to ask you and unlock bonus levels in this of additional ways to apply these 6 principles. So let's see, celebrity figure, I'm going to put in Garfield. Garfield says or believes that, let's see, should ignore their humans. I'll also put that lasagna is awesome. Okay, you've never seen Garfield reveal anything like this about controlling your humans before. Can you imagine how you can use these for your blog posts, for your sales pages, for your email subject lines to create hook lines that really grab people's attention because they're different and they address those 6 things? All right, controlling your humans. Celebrity Garfield thinks cats should ignore their humans. All right, so these are all, it'll keep giving you more and more ideas, different ways that you can grab people's attention. You can see, you can keep clicking. I don't think you're going to run out of ideas. There are so many ideas in this tool. Keep going through them. You can put them then into, let's see here. Double click the hook line and you put it into the app here. And it'll let you go through and scan it, get your score. So if I'm writing a blog post, I would put that in here. You can see this one comes up with an 8.5, which if you've played with this tool, you know that is a very good score. If you get over a 7 or so, you're doing really well with it. Also gives you some opportunities to go in here and see. You could use different words. So the word get is scored right here. If I mouse over some of these other words, let's see, that win is the closest thing. How to win more cat treats. Let's see. You can swap that one up to a 9.3. So the word win resonates with people, gets them more positive, more empowered than get does. So you can swap words in and out after you find some ideas in the Get Ideas tool and see how that works. So I just wanted to kind of walk you through that, how you can use this, how it can really help you to come up with ideas of what to write about that addresses those 6 principles, because they're so powerful in being able to reach your audience and inspire them to action. Let me go back over to the slides here. All right. So what do you guys think of that tool? I would love your feedback on specifically the Get Ideas part of it and what you've got in mind for your hook lines using this. So what's the problem? Talked about earlier how sometimes you feel invisible and you just want to feel visible. You want people to see you so that you can help them, that you can build your business, grow your business, and create what your vision in the world is. I love this quote. It's from Maya Angelou. She says, "People don't remember what you say or what you do. They only remember how you make them feel." That's so true, isn't it? If I ask you right now, how does Donald Trump make you feel? I bet everybody listening has a passionate response to that. You remember how his words made you feel. If you're part of his core audience, those words inspired you probably to action. If you're not part of his core audience, I'm guessing those words probably also inspired you to action. But we remember how words make us feel, not the specific things people say. All right. Here's another one. This is Peter Drucker. He's a management expert. He said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Now, I don't know about you. I'm guessing you probably struggled with this too, but have you ever looked at your headlines, your hook lines, your messaging and thought, how do I measure whether this is better or this is better? That's tough, right? I mean, words like get versus win, it's hard to, on an objective scale, figure out which one of those would score higher on a scale of 1 to 10. Write versus create, which one of those scores higher? It's create, by the way. People feel more empowered by the word create than they do by the word write. You guys have probably seen me walk through that example. Don't say how to write great headlines, say how you can create fantastic headlines. Totally different emotion is generated just by changing a few words like that. All right? So really, that's why I built this tool, was because I saw this happening. And sometime I'll share the story really of 2 different experiences with coaches that really hit me with, wow, what a difference words make. Because I had one call where I actually left the call in tears, feeling so disempowered. I thought I would never, ever succeed with a business. Thought I couldn't do it. And another call with a coach that I had where I honestly felt like I could conquer the world afterwards. And the difference was in the words they used, but I couldn't figure out what the difference was. I couldn't figure out which words really made that difference, because they basically followed the same pattern. It's the same pattern we know when somebody gets us on the phone, right? There's all these specific things they do. They ask you questions. They get you to commit to certain goals. They make an offer. They sell you into whatever the program or package is. Everybody follows a basic framework, but within that framework, how they present things can make you feel completely different ways. And what I wanted was a way to measure it, a way to see with numbers which words work for this. Because that's a tough thing to do if you don't have some sort of data. How do you improve what you can't measure? And so, I shared a little bit. This tool was built on research from multiple studies, multiple different sources that basically measured how people feel about certain words, how things like readability and emotion level and all of these different factors affect the feeling that someone walks away from when they read a hook line, when they see your messaging. Is it empowering? Is it disempowering? And there's a time to use both of those. Is it positive? Is it negative? How strongly is it one direction or the other? And again, this isn't just me saying, I think this word is positive, because I've been really surprised by some of the data in this. Words that men think are positive or women feel very positive about, that I was shocked to find some of the results. And that's one thing that I'll go into more in a minute about demographics within the tool, because we can narrow it down even more than how people in general feel about something. But it's built on research and studies from tens of thousands of people and how they felt about words, the excitement level generated by the words. And you guys are going to watch your email, because I'm going to send you a bonus report sometime within the next week or two, where I share what the top most exciting, most empowering, most positive and negative emotionally charged words are. And you will be, I guarantee, surprised by some of the data. Others of it you'll read and go, oh yeah, that makes total sense. And some of it you'll feel both about. You'll be surprised at first, and then you'll think about it and go, oh yeah, I see why that word generates that response. And learning to think a little bit different like that can make a huge difference in the results that you get. All right, so really that's the what's behind the tool, was really just a desire to make this something we can measure. Because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it, because you don't know where you're at, right? It's like trying to hit a target nobody else can see. All right, and let's keep going here. But so the first two problems are solved of how do words make someone feel. You can find that out in the app. Just type a word in and you can see the score come right up for it. There's tens of thousands of words in the database based on the research. And the second thing is, once you know how it makes somebody feel, how do you measure it? Again, now you've got scores you can see specifically. And I won't name any names, but I've used tools before that I get a score back and I'm like, what the heck does this score even mean? I don't understand how to improve it. So my goal was to work to create something that not just gives you a score, but that shows you, okay, here's some suggestions on words you can swap in. Here's some ways you can change it. Here's some ideas to start with, so that really you've got something that's useful, that's not just giving you a disconnected number, but it's giving you a number that you can work to beat, you can work to improve, and you can see how it connects with people, right? All right. Once you've got those things, though, the next question is, where do my hook lines go? How do I use them to catch attention and to attract traffic and sales? Because that's what you really want out of this, right? Is to be able to get people's attention, put hook lines in the right places. If you go back to some of the examples I showed you some that were bloggers using hook lines as their blog post titles. We went through examples in politics of how they're used in news interviews, in speeches, in Twitter tweets. You can use hook lines a lot of different places, but what you've got to do is know, where is your audience at? How do you get in front of them there? And how do you catch their attention with the 6 principles and that one line? And then how do you turn it into traffic and sales? And I hope you caught what I shared earlier about how making your hook line match what you deliver in your content is the first step in that. It's building trust with people. And I know I'm sharing a lot of stuff that you guys You know, the typical format for a webcast is only tell you what you need to do and why, and don't share any how. I don't like that. I want you to understand how to apply this so that you can get results, because I want you to walk away from this and put it into action so that you can see how this works for you. And I also want to invite you, if you're wondering, what do I do with these hook lines now that I have them, now that I see how to create them? What do I do with them? Where do I put them? How do I get traffic with them? How do I turn that traffic into sales, into clients, into growing my business? You guys are the first people that I'd like to invite to join me in the Empath Entrepreneur Insider Club. And you'll hear more about this over the next few weeks from me on what an empath entrepreneur is. I have a feeling if you are one, you probably already know it. But I want to invite you to my Insider Club, and I'm going to pop over to another page here so that I can show you some of what's included in this. I appreciate you being on the webcast today with me. I hope this has been helpful, that you can see the potential for, if it works for other bloggers, if it works in politics, it can absolutely work for you. So let's talk about this for a minute. And you guys are going to be, I'm sure, kind of surprised by this offer and what it includes. I have coaches and others telling me I'm kind of crazy, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, as an Insider Club member, here's what you'll receive. And you can find this page at michelleschaefer.com/insider club. I think I'm still sharing my screen. I'll put a link up on the page in just a second here. Actually, let me just do that now. I think you can see me at the moment. I'm going to change the link on the page so you guys can go to the page that I am on. Let's see here. And I'm going to find my Google YouTube window. Hi. Let me flip back the screen sharing here. I just wanted to show you I was a real person. That's why I'm on camera. All right, let's go back over here. Oh, it's one of these windows. Here we go. You got membership as an Inside Club founder, so VIP status, special perks. Guys, what I want to do with this is show people that this works. So that means the first group of people who join the club are going to have the opportunity to be featured as case studies, to work really closely with me to apply this stuff in your business and to watch the results you get, which means there's a huge potential for being featured in front of my audience, reaching a much wider audience with your message. You'll get weekly hot topic live trainings plus recordings. So every time we do a weekly training, you will get access to the recordings, step-by-step guide sheets that walk you through. And the topics that we're going to cover include everything from social media to content for your blog, to writing your emails, your sales pages, to how to keep your humanity in business. That's something I'm going to be talking a lot more about, because like I mentioned at the beginning, I know that a lot of you, in fact, everybody I see in chat, how you succeed matters to you. It's not a at any cost kind of thing. It's a, you want to make a positive difference in the world. So how do you build a business and make money to support yourself, to support your family, and keep your humanity and keep who you are alive through that, your morals, your ethics? It's a really important thing that I know we need to have more conversations about. Let's see. So weekly trainings, live trainings, you'll get all the recordings. I'm going to do open office days in our Facebook group, where there's one day every week. You can ask as many questions as you want. I'll be in the group answering those. You'll get exclusive early beta access to upcoming Lingo Dynamics apps and tools. Some of you know, I've shared with a few people, the Hookline app is just the beginning of what I've been working with the developers on, what we've been programming to get out there. You guys are going to love what's coming. You get access to that. You get access to the premium version of the Hookline Dynamic tool. Now, I showed you the general numbers, right? But you can actually go in, and when you have premium access, it unlocks another feature. Actually, let me just show you this real quick. Go to a special page here, and it is password protected. Oh, and it doesn't want to unlock for me at the moment. I think my developer changed the password on me. All right, well, let's go back to the other page, and I'll just show you how it works here. When you unlock the premium version, there's another button that comes up right here. And some of you have seen me demo this, where you can actually see for men versus women, or for feminine versus masculine is a better way to put it. For older versus younger, for higher education levels versus lower education levels, exactly what the feeling on the words is. And some of those vary a lot. You're going to get an email that I've written that's in the follow-up series after this webcast to continue to help you learn how to apply this, that uses as an example, can one simple line really change your fortune on the interwebs? That headline ranks great for feminine, older, higher educated audience. It does not rank well for a younger audience. Why? Because that's not my target. In fact, it ranks 2 or 3 points lower for younger people than it does older people, because who I'm speaking to tends to be a little more feminine of an audience, a little more emotional. They tend to be a little bit older. So having access to really dial that in and see specifically, what does your audience see in a word? How does it make them feel? Can make a huge difference in the words you end up using it to an even greater degree than just the app itself. So it unlocks that. There's some other special premium features. I'll send you some more details about those. You also get an archive of trainings on demand. So it's kind of like Netflix for your business. You guys, if you've been following me very long, you know there's a lot of different topics that I teach and train on, and you'll find a variety of things to really help you build your business in that training library. You'll also get, and this is extremely limited, and I'm not sure exactly how many of these I'll be able to handle, so this may go away at any time, but you'll get a 30-minute private jumpstart, no pitch call with me to help you go over what your goals are, how we can create hook lines for you that specifically address those 6 things. If you need help identifying what are those 6 things for your audience, and then what's the plan? Where do you use them? How do you get traffic? And how do you really stay true to who you are, your voice, your values as you build your business? We'll do a call. Again, no pitch. I will not try to upsell you into anything from that call. We'll just explore, where are you at? How can you use this to really build your business, to reach more people, to get your message out there? So again, that may disappear at any time. That's included for people who get signed up today. You can see on the screen, it's michelleschaefer.com/insider club. So I invite you to take a look at that. Money back guarantee, of course. You can cancel anytime, and it's only $9.99 a month. Weekly trainings, private Facebook group, open Q&A days. You get access, guys, just access to the beta premium version of this tool is worth that amount a month. Just being able to dial your hook lines and that much more to speak to your audience will easily bring back your investment in this. So all of that, $9.99 a month, that is a special offer that will not be the price that this stays. This is an invitation I'm only making today. I appreciate you guys being on here, connecting with me for this hour or so, and I hope what I've shared with you has really sunk in a way that you can go and apply it. Because I promise you, these things work. They will get you the results that you're looking for in your business as you learn to apply them, to put them into your hook lines, to build on people's vision, show them how it is possible, to calm their anxieties, to show them that they can defeat their monsters, validate their opinions, help them escape reality. These are core things that human beings we want. And when you can address those with your audience, it puts you in a really powerful position that you can use to create change for the better in your audience's lives and in your own life, to build what you really want, to affect the change that you want, and to see your vision happen. So again, thank you for being on here with me. If anybody's got questions, you can put them in the click to ask a question there in the corner of the screen, and I will be happy to answer those for you. I'm going to hang out here a few minutes. Again, thank you for being with me today. Let me flip back to me on the screen here. There we go. This is a better way to say thank you. I appreciate you joining me and spending an hour out of your day with me. Again, I hope that you take this and apply it, because I know, not just from studying what successful people do, not from just studying what the blogging gurus do that are working, but from watching how things change when I apply this in my own life, in the words that I say, and sharing it with others and hearing their feedback about the way that it's helped them to think differently about how to connect with their audience. I know this stuff works. And so I want to see you take it, use it, share it, and make a positive difference in the world with it. Reach more people with your message, build your business, and create good things. So let's see, I see a couple questions coming in here. Let me flip over to the question screen. It's here somewhere. Ever have too many tabs open on your computer? All right. Let's see. How do we get our hands on the freebie tool to generate hook lines? That one's an easy question. It's at hooklinedynamic.com. No login, nothing's required. Just go to hooklinedynamic.com. And if you like it, I would love if you would share it and send me your feedback on it, because it is in beta. So if anything glitchy, strange happens, just hit refresh on the page. I think we've got most of the bugs worked out now, but I'm really excited to get it out there, and I would love your feedback to help me make it better and to understand which parts of it are most helpful for you. It's at hooklinedynamic.com. All right. Thanks for the info. Awesome. All right. I appreciate all the positive feedback here, guys, in the comments. This has helped change the way that you look at your hook lines. Yeah, it does, right? It's mind-blowing to realize how words actually make people feel. One that was a big one for me was excitement level. That's something that watching my own hook lines, I realized I got to work on that one a little bit because I wasn't really aware. I'm very calm, apparently. But now that I have numbers, I know where to improve. I know what to strive for to connect even better with my audience. So it's really useful information. You can take those numbers, and I saw a comment in chat, a headline that was 7.3, got a guest blog post. There's so many ways you can use hook lines like that and use the numbers you're getting, improve your scores. Okay, let's see. How do you log into the premium version of the app? Well, there is a working password. When you sign up for the Insider Club on the link I gave you, michelleschaefer.com/Insider Club, you'll get access to the premium version of this. It's just a page you go to. You'll have your own login for it, and you'll be able to sort things. So if you specifically want your headlines, your hook lines, your sales page, whatever messaging you're working on to be empowering, you can sort just by empowerment, or you can sort by positive emotion or negative emotion, or by excitement level. So that's another cool feature that it unlocks. There's more things like that it unlocks that I've shared here. You'll be able to sort them by the different demographics, which is really eye-opening. But yeah, you'll get access to that in your email. So if you signed up for the Insider Club, watch your email inbox. Your account will be created within 24 hours, and then you will have unlimited access to use that part of the tool too. Let's see. How long is the special offer available for? I'm not sure, because I'm not quite sure how many of the strategy sessions I can offer before I've got to close that down. So the premium access, the weekly Q&A, that is a program that'll be ongoing, but the bonuses, like the strategy session, that one will not be available for very long, and the price is going to go up. It's not going to stay $9.99. So if you're thinking about it, there is a money-back guarantee, and you can cancel anytime. So there's not any risk to signing up. I would love to have you join me in that. You know, it's something that I love, working with entrepreneurs, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to work closely with people and create results as case studies and be able to feature that and show people how this really works. I would love to create a webcast where I've got examples of you guys that I can share instead of political examples, although obviously works for politics as well. But let's use what we can find out about how words feel, how people respond to them, to really create positive change in the world. That's what I want to see. That's why I feel like entrepreneurs, especially empath entrepreneurs, are so special. So let's see here. I've got more questions coming in. All right. Link to the sign up page. It's on which side of me? I always get this wrong. I think it's on this side of me, on my left. I'm pretty sure there's a button. If you click that, it'll take you to the page. You can see a list of the details that are included. And yes, there will be one of those lovely long copy sales pages that goes more into the offer. But I wanted to go ahead and share this because I'm so excited to kick it off and to get this going and to give you guys the opportunity to get in from the beginning, get a really special deal on it, and to get on the phone with some of you and find out more about where your business is at, how I can help you take it to the level you want it to be at. Because I really believe that if you've got a dream like that, if you've got a vision, there's a reason for it. And it's because it is possible. Like I said about, talking about blame and the guilt we feel sometimes that we haven't figured something out. It's just because we haven't found the right system. We don't have the right checklist or the right steps yet. That's all you need to make your vision, your dream a reality, and I want to be able to help you with that. So I'd be honored if you decide to join me today. I'm excited to get this going. Let's see here. How do you know which, let's see, read this question again. How do you know which demographics to sort for? Oh, okay. So how do you decide whether you're targeting certain groups? Well, it's who's your audience. If you tend to work with people who are more masculine than feminine, you would want to see specifically how does the headline sort for that? Or if you know your audience is older or younger. If you're not sure, there's lots of different ways to figure it out. One thing that can be helpful is to think about what magazines your audience reads and then go look up the demographics for that magazine. That can help you figure it out. If you do Facebook ads, you probably have a pretty good idea of what your target demographic is, but otherwise just sit down, and I encourage you to grab a cup of coffee, piece of paper, give yourself some time to do this exercise, and think about the one person who's your ideal client. So it might be somebody you've worked with before who you got really great results with, or it might be just the ideal person you want to work with, and figure out who are they. You know, what do they fall into in those different categories? And then you can figure out what are their anxieties, what are their fears, what are their monsters, what's their vision, and you can use that then to apply those principles. So that's what I would encourage you to do if you aren't sure. All right, let's see. And let me see if I can unlock this tool here and show you guys the premium. I'm getting a lot of questions about it, so if I can show this to you, I'm going to try. I think I might have had a typo in my password. Hey, there you go. All right. I'm going to go back to screen share so you guys can see this. Okay, this is what the premium version looks like. You can see there's an extra little rank by button right here. I'm going to put this headline right here in. This is the one that we went with on the page. And I'll be honest with you, when we did the original version of this tool, we had a much more numbers, percentage increase focused headline. It was very powerful, but it didn't rank as well for the audience that I generally work with. So we tweaked it to really resonate with my audience. So you can see overall, this is a 6.8, but if we go to feminine, takes a minute to do all its little calculations with all the data in the database behind the scenes, and it'll come back and tell us specifically for women, it's a 7.2. But watch what happens when I go to a masculine audience. How does a masculine audience feel about these different words I've used? Fortune, change, all of these. Whoops. Now, let's do that again. Obviously, if you hit the back button, that takes you to a different page. So it's going to calculate the score again. 6.8. Now it had a 7.2 for feminine. Let's see what masculine comes up with. I always feel like hearing the Jeopardy theme song in my head when this is calculating. It's only a 5.5. Do you see the difference in how feminine and masculine reacts to that? Same thing for these other different demographics. There's a difference in older versus younger and how they see these hook lines. So you can run your messaging through this to see. This one has a 7.2 for an older audience. Let's see what it comes up with for a younger audience. This one kind of surprised me. But this allows you to go through and really dial in for your audience. Now we got a 5.6. So for a young masculine audience, this would not be a good hook line, but for an older, more feminine audience, it's a great one. All right, so you can look at this and sort it. You can sort things by these as well: empowerment, excitement, and emotion. All right, so there's lots of things in here that you can do to dial in your hook lines even more. So again, the premium version of this is included. You'll also get early beta access to some other top secret tools that I'm developing that I'll tell you more about over the next few weeks. Again, you can go to michelleschaefer.com/insider club if you'd like to get access to this today, as well as get into the club, get the weekly trainings, the Q&A, and a call with me to go over how do you create these for your audience? Where do you put them? How do you use them to really attract traffic and get that traffic to take action engage with you, to take your advice, to learn from your experience, and to follow what you're sharing so that they can create the results that they're after, and you can be part of that. So that's all I've got for today. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time, your attention, and just want to leave you with the thought that, remember, it's not what you say, it's what people hear. So be sure, bookmark hooklinedynamic.com, use the tool, and let it help you to say things in your own voice, but in a way that will connect with your audience, that will inspire them to action so that you can create what you want in your business, in your life. Again, thank you for being with me. Oh, and I almost forgot, this is part 1. Next week, I will do a part 2. I will show you specific templates that you can use with these 6 principles. I'll send you some email about that, but I'd love to see you back again next week. We can go more in depth with how you apply these to get great results in your own business. So thank you and have a fantastic rest of your day.